What is up? What is up, YouTube? No clap today as I am holding the camera, but thanks for coming to the channel. Then I'm back for another video. So if you don't know me, new to the channel, I help people with getting to the 10.0 self as fast as possible through their habits, things like fitness, mentality, mindset, and relationships. So for this video, essentially, this is a mindset that I've adopted through a book that I have here. I'm not sure if it'll be backwards. It's called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And essentially, it's written by Napoleon Hill, who's also the author of Think and Grow Rich. But essentially, he just talks on the importance of viewing every problem as a positive. In general, every situation is actually neutral. It's just the judgment of the person that makes it either positive or negative. So, I mean, that's the first thing I have to understand. But if there is something that is seen as negative, it's actually a positive. So there's actually a seed of equal opportunity on the other side of that problem. No matter how severe the problem may seem, obviously, death of a loved one is probably the most severe you'll encounter. Other things like financial ruin, stuff like that. But for the most part, that situation is happening because there is something that is needed to happen, or needed to summon. It's needed to summon something positive from yourself. So, for instance, the most common one you'll probably see is maybe a bad breakup. Maybe you losing a job, stuff like that. And essentially, the reason this is happening is because that situation is asking you, it's basically God testing you to see what you'll do, and if you'll find the positive in the situation. The positive of a relationship being, if you do get broken up with, it is your fault. Most men, as you get older, understand that most of things in a relationship is your fault because women are just a mirror in a relationship. So if something she does break up with you, there's something essentially a weakness inside of you or something that is lacking that you have to fix, and essentially God is giving you opportunity to do this. So instead of you wallowing and blaming the situation and saying, "Oh, it's her fault," or like I didn't do anything, you have to look inwardly and basically assess, what you weren't up to par with. Maybe it was, your confidence or your ambition or your drive. There was something that was lacking or not up to par, and she saw that within yourself that you maybe haven't seen. You're maybe too comfortable as well. It's another thing as well, so you weren't growing. And this is essentially, you know, you being put to the test to see if you'll be better because of this or worse. And every situation gives you that, that power to be better or worse depending on how you see that thing. So every negative is actually a positive, and you have to be able to use this thinking, or else you'll just kind of just let problems treat them as something that's like an obstacle or like something that's kind of mounting on you and just putting pressure on you. It's actually almost like a stepping stone if you see it properly, as opposed to something that's making you trip. It's actually something that's kind of like blocking you, but giving you a greater blocking you temporarily. It's not just slowing you down, but it gives you like a stepping stone to go to a greater height if you allow it to. Like I said, every problem has a seed for any positive of equal opportunity. So you have to begin to assess this with everything. Like I said, if you view every negative as a positive, there's no way you can lose in this life. I mean, you'll have that mentality, and everything that comes your way is essentially just a positive. Like it's you're able to just see things way differently. You're not able to like let problems create some kind of negative reaction in you. You see the situations, like I said, they're all neutral anyways, but you and this in this viewpoint, you see them all as positive. And like I said, it's something that just empowers you totally, no matter how big the situation. Obviously, react accordingly. Don't like, if something bad happens, don't fucking like laugh or I don't know, be some kind of like um, psycho with your reaction. Like react normally, but know that there is a positive on the other side of that negative, and it's something that's being presented to you as that situation. But I said, like, I mean, it is technically neutral, but obviously, some are judged more negative than others, but there's a positive to that situation. So you can begin to use this and have this mentality for whatever you are doing. Most common problems, like I said, are breakups, things with employment, and just problems that you encounter. And essentially, one thing as well as a good quote to live by is you can tell the size of a man by the size of his problems. So if you have small things that you're worrying about, you need to get bigger ones. And like I said, they're not problems at the end of the day; they're opportunities. So you need bigger opportunities in this case to grow more, and the more you're able to basically dance with, I would say, like have a friendly relationship with, the more you'll be able to grow and just see them as stepping stones for the person you want to be. Right, the person you want to be has bigger um, problems that they're facing, like the ideal you, like I talked about in the other video. There's the third dimensional you and the fifth dimensional you. So that person should always be in your head, and essentially any circumstance that happens, how will they react to that? Right, like if something happened, like a small problem, will they react negatively and let it affect them, or would they kind of use it as fuel to just become better and better? So you have to start to begin to take this approach now. You have to start acting as your, like I said, ideal person now, and not when you feel like you have attained the right to do it. All begins internally. Everything is internal, as within, so without, like it says in the Bible. So you have to begin to act as the person you want to be now, and assess every situation that you come into, every physical situation you come into, with that mindset of you are that person already, and then your subconscious mind will begin to adopt essentially their thinking, as you're using perspective and imagination to try to think, okay, this happened, what would ideal me or 10.0 me do in the situation? You can really think about this using your perception and imagination, and thoughts will come to you, and you're able to apply that consciously, and you keep doing this consciously, and believing you're that person, you're going to get to that person. And your subconscious mind can be deceived, doesn't have the ability to perceive what's real or not. Using images, you can deceive your subconscious mind. So you can begin to do this proactively now. Like I said, have the ideal person printed out, and then any problem, like I said, is already a positive, but it'll just kind of reinforce it more with that person you're acting through, and things will be way better. So start to use this approach for anything that's happening. Like I said, there is no negatives, only positives, and this will essentially will help raise your energy and your frequency as well, which adds to more success being attracted to your life. So hope this does help. Like I said, I do help people with their habits and mental habits as well. So if you have issues with this, you can follow me on Instagram at Mr. Daniel Arce. Link will be in the bio. And like and subscribe if you like the video, and hope to see you in the next one. Keep killing it.